So let's talk about furries, and more specifically, furry webtoons. To be honest, I don't really read them, but this one caught my interest. I mean, it's a gay furry romance vampire webtoon about ice skating 1v1s, so of course I read it. And now tell me this, why is this better than 90% of the romances on Webtoon? I mean, this actually says less than you think, but that's still so insane to me. And before judging me for this and calling me slurs, let me just introduce you to the story myself. So we start off with this deer called Emile, and this guy called Radu, who are about to face off in this ice skating 1v1. And you know, they have a lot of tension for only having met just now. Anyways, during the match, the deer ends up cutting his own hand. And then like a shark that's been starving for 2 weeks, Radu just lunges at the deer, and that freaks him out. But he somehow manages to knock Radu over, thus winning the match. Emile then runs away scared out of his mind, because it then turns out that Radu is actually a vampire? I guess they exist. I mean, what is this Twilight Beastars crossover? So Radu tries to talk to him, but Emile then tries to fan him off with his gay skate guard. Radu then begs Emile to not tell anyone about him being a vampire, and then cries out about skating being the only thing he has. Emile then has a nightmare about Radu eating him. My boy really got PTSD from that. The next day they meet, and Radu tries to clear up things about vampires not actually being dangerous. But Emile is kinda xenophobic. He's like, nah, vampires need to kill to survive. Trust me bro, my source is Furrypedia. Wait, what? Furrypedia? What the... Anyways, then Radu makes some advances towards Emile, which makes him giddy and all that. Yo, but why are your ears blushing as well? He then has the same nightmare again, but this time it's kinda weird. I can't really point it out, but something's kind of off. Afterwards, Radu's being really playful with him. And by playful, I mean he wants them deer yams. Like he's acting feral, not just because he's a predator. And Emile then has a dream. And now I finally realize what was off. Because this dream is freaky as hell. Like what is this? I can't even show that. This deer really turned trauma into horniness. This is just like real life. Yeah, you better be ashamed because that's kinda messed up. Yo, and the next dream he has is even more freaky than that. Like, he's really into some weird stuff. Dude really started blushing after being sucked on. But you know, like in the vampire way, not in the freaky way. Just needed to clarify that. Yeah, you're damn right, this is getting out of hand. Dude's been having a wet dream every night. And then there's this instance where Radu and Emile are training, and Emile gets cut. And he just looks terrified, which makes Radu feel bad, as he thought they were beyond that. And Emile, noticing that, just puts his cut hand to his cheek and says that he isn't scared. And I can't lie, when I first read this scene, I was pretty excited, swinging from side to side like an anime girl. Like, even to me, this was cute. And from there on, their relationship kinda prospers. They get closer and closer to each other, and there's a lot of tension. A lot of gay tension. And for a while, it's just a wholesome romance, with minimal drama. But then Emile and Radu got spotted acting like a couple, which possibly could get them suspended from ice skating. So Emile is like very distressed. So he goes to Radu in tears. God damn it. Like, how do I get people to not think I'm a furry for liking this? Look, I just have to say it, there are way too many sus moments in this. I mean, look at their training. Like, dog, what is that hand placement? And also, you were hugging as friends? You were getting that Duke Dennis hug. What do you mean hugging as friends? Also in this scene, why is he just biting his lip for no reason? Yeah, and why does Radu text like a predator trying to groom a 13-year-old? Okay, back to the story. Radu calms Emile down, but then mentions that he wouldn't mind if they were dating, which catches Emile off guard. And Radu just plainly asks him if he likes him, to which Emile can't respond yet, which leaves them in an awkward position. Even Emile gets mad at himself afterwards for being such a coward. And in the next training session... Guys, you're not making this easy for me. I'm not a furry, okay? Also, what is that arch? To clear the air, Emile dedicates his next performance to Radu, where he mimics his poses. And Radu ends up doing the same, basically translating to a love confession. And in the end, they have their first kiss in the locker room. And that's a pretty good moment to end this short summary. Yes, I know, there's a lot of sexual tension. But I think as a romance webtoon, it still is better than 90% of the other stuff on Webtoon. Because after reading the 50th toxic romance, you start to get a bit tired. And most of these stories aren't even romances, they're just glorified Stockholm Syndrome. So when I see a story that doesn't try their hardest to turn romance into horror, but would rather tell a compelling love story, and that just between two people, and then even though they're clearly not, have their characters be more human than most of these one-dimensional, no personality having NPCs. And I haven't even talked about the art yet, because get this, it actually looks unique. It doesn't look like it's been copy-pasted. It has these interesting pencil brush lines, and just looks amazing overall. Even the paneling is great. And the sport aspect of the webtoon also doesn't come too short. You might think I've set the bar too low, because this is just balanced storytelling. But I don't care because it's actually good for once. You know, considering all that, I just can't help to think, but yeah, this is kinda peak. So, you know what? Call me whatever you want for liking this. Call me slurs we haven't heard since the 1900s. Call me furry, call me gay, call me a fanboy lover. But that doesn't change that I'll stand by that this furry webtoon is actually kinda amazing. 8.5 horse girls out of 10.